Hello, my name is Brooke McGever. I am the product lead at Unspun, and I'm really happy to be talking to everybody today, all the way from California. So yeah, excited to talk about technology and the future of fashion. Um, Product at Unspun touches many aspects from software to hardware to design. So I'm excited to share with you our journey. So this is our guiding light as a company, and this is why the company started, is we want to reduce the human carbon footprint by 1%. And this is an extremely intense goal, but we believe that we're up for the challenge because the future of humanity kind of depends that we start changing the way that we produce and consume and own items, especially apparel. So we use this, our mission, as our guiding light when making any sort of decisions in the company. This is another thing that Unspun thinks about a lot, is future-proofing fashion. So we know that business isn't there's no more business as usual. Consumers have a short attention span. Marketing strategies have to change. Brands are dumping or burning garments and getting in, in lots of intense situations. And we have a climate crisis on our hands. And after all of that, we also have COVID that really shook things up and really made all of the players of fashion look themselves in the mirror and decide how vulnerable and how shaky their business strategies or their supply chains were. So now there's a lot of thinking about, how do we future-proof? And that's something that we also think a lot about at Unspun. And here's three things that Unspun thinks about a lot and that we try to tackle. So one is loss of revenue. Unsold inventory accounts for $50 billion worth of loss per year in the US alone. So clothes are being made, they're not sold, they can't be sold in the outlets, they're just extra. We've got cutting waste. There's a lot of waste in the industry that occurs. And we're putting chemicals in that, we're putting raw materials, we're using labor, and at the end of the day, the products just aren't being used. Another thing we think about a lot is lack of fit. This is why people own 15 pairs of jeans and wear 2. This is why people order things from offline and return half or keep them and never wear them. The industry, with sizes and ratios and fit models, is that really representing what the majority of the population looks like? And then we think a lot about GHG emissions. When you think about 100 billion garments made this year and 60% of those goes into the landfill within 12 months, it's really shocking. So these are the kind of verticals that we try to tackle as a company and that we're really excited about. And so how do we do that? So first, we try to be extremely intentional. So brands are built, but we really focus on, quality and iconic, and really honing in on our mission. What do our customers want? Why are we here? Is this really where we want to be? And we kind of let all of those things trickle into our products and how we make them and how they're used in the world. We also focus a lot on optimization. So we have an entire software team that we work with that helps us to automate visualizations, pattern making, which I'll get into. And then, yeah, and we think a lot about automation as well. Manufacturing needs some shaking up. And what if it could be onshore, automated, and built around low volume efficiency? That would really change things, and we're really interested in what that would look like. So how do we do this? So on Unspun, we have a lot going on. So we have a brand. The brand is called Unspun, which I will explain in the next slide. And that's our B2C. And this is this is a new shopping experience, and this allows us to be really radical in our thinking, to test out new ideas, retail experiences, products, etc. So this really gives us direct access to consumers to hear what they're excited about, what they like, and what they're concerned about. Another thing that we do is software with our B2B partners. We want to do data-driven analytics. We want custom-made patterns on demand. So these fast fashion companies or mass production companies, maybe they don't have to have all that excess inventory, because you can begin to produce on demand with a custom pattern for each customer. And also, we have an entire hardware team dedicated to creating a 3D weaving loom that can weave pants to shape of each customer that orders garments from us. So then we can start thinking about localized, automated, and on-demand manufacturing. So a little bit about our brand. So we are a custom denim company. We make custom denim off your body scan. So you can do this in our physical retail locations with a physical scanner, and you can also do this on your iPhone. So we're now able to take a 3D avatar, and we have enough information to make the perfect pattern for them. They're able to choose what style they'd like, what fabric, what hem length, what waist height, the stretchiness of the jean, and we are able to work with them to create a custom-made jean within a matter of minutes. Our software is a system that's constantly feeding into itself. So we create data, and then we have an in-house learning kind of platform, and we use machine learning and AI to kind of train this model that when certain body shapes and certain styles come through, it knows what patterns to spit out for that customer. And then that turns into products, and the more orders that we get, the more it feeds into our software, and the more robust that system gets. And we can start learning about what different body types like in the subjective sense, and how these different shaped or sized people like to wear clothes. And we can start really understanding all of the nuances that are happening there and input it directly into our software, which feeds directly into the patterns that people own. Another thing that we're doing, because you can't try on these jeans, right? So everything's custom and everything's on demand. And this is kind of new and exciting for customers. Sorry about that. And what if they could scan and see what the jean likes and actually understand kind of what this fit is going to look like on them, so there won't be returns, and it also adds another touch point and an extra experience that customers really enjoy. And beyond our brand, we do work with B2B clients. This is something that we launched this year with Weekday, a brand underneath H&M. We've been working with them for 2 years. So now you can go to their store in Sweden, get a body scan, customize your jeans on a screen with an avatar that looks like you, and a pattern is mailed to you within 2 to 3 weeks. So we have this up and running right now as we speak, and we're really excited to see what happens with that. Finally, we are also working on our 3D weaving machine, as I was talking about earlier. So we have a team dedicated to this, and look out, this year we will have our first 3D woven products available for purchase, made without cutting waste and woven to shape. So seamless garments. We're really excited about this to kind of round out our zero waste model of no inventory and now no cutting waste. And then to just kind of wrap our whole supply chain up, something else that we're really thinking about is design for circularity. So we partnered with a company called Resource Techs, and we use dissolvable thread in our garments. So when the garment is at the end of its life, you can mail that back to us. We can dissolve the thread. We separate easily the trims and the zippers, and there's a scan code on the pocket, and you're able to know exactly the contents of the fabric, and it can go straight into a recycling center that can use the contents of the fabric and create something new out of it. So we're really trying to think about this as one big ecosystem through our B2C, B2B, and all of our projects. So that's Unspun, and it's been great explaining what we do, and I'm happy to chat, and thanks for having me.